Good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of PCI College, I'm delighted to welcome you all to our 2023 graduation ceremony today. I would like to request that the graduates would, of course, be aware of where they are in the various groups they're invited to be in. And of course, for your comfort and safety, I would like to point out the 3 fire exits that are here in the building. Firstly, of course, we have the main door we came in, and also we have this door, of course, here to my right, to your left, and also we have this door to my left, to your right, out to the hall where we're going to congregate afterwards. Please note these exits in the event of an emergency where we have members of staff to assist you. Also, I would like to invite you to put your phone on silent mode during our ceremony today, please. And finally, I would ask you to relax and enjoy your graduation. And breathing is all part of that, as we know. This is a day, of course, to cherish, to relax, to relate, to communicate with family, with friends, with staff, and with colleagues. And just before we begin, and following the tradition of graduation ceremonies, can I ask the graduands to ensure that your tassel on your mortarboard, if you're wearing one, is on your right-hand side. That's your right-hand side, signifying your right to be here to graduate today. Now I invite you all to please stand for our entrance procession of faculty, which will be led by our academic director, Jade Lawless, along with faculty and guests. Thank you, Ronan, for the music. Please be seated. And so, on behalf of PCI College, I would like to welcome you, our graduates, and your families and friends, along with our invited guests, to this, our graduation ceremony of 2023, mindful of people who have come from many parts of Ireland and the UK today. It is wonderful to celebrate our graduation ceremony here today in St. Anne's, as we acknowledge the many people in our families who have supported us through these past number of years to this present day. We welcome Jade Lawless, our PCI College Academic Director, as well as Gail Kilduff, our PCI College Head of Counselling and Psychotherapy, and Margaret O'Connor, our Programme Leader for the BSc. We also welcome our alumna speaker, Ejiro Ogbevoan, and our guest speaker, Kerry Anthony, and our student speaker, Penny Houghton. Thank you, Penny. At our ceremony today, a number of our graduands are receiving their higher education certificate in counselling studies and interpersonal skills. Many are receiving the BSc Honours Counselling and Psychotherapy, our postgraduate certificate in counselling and professional practice in cognitive behavioural therapy, as well as the postgraduate certificate in child and adolescent counselling and psychotherapeutic skills, as well as the postgraduate diploma in child and adolescent counselling and psychotherapeutic skills, and the MSc, Child and Adolescent Counselling and Psychotherapeutic Skills, and also the Masters, the MSc in Addiction Counselling and Psychotherapy. So it is fitting that we gather together in this place to celebrate and mark your achievements, the achievements of you, our graduands today, as you are formally recognised for your achievements now as counsellors in the field of counselling and psychotherapy. It is a day to cherish, and it is the culmination of your hard work over these past number of years, and together we publicly acknowledge your study and learning and your journey as counsellors, and together we congratulate you. This is a great achievement for you all. Together we want you to enjoy your day. And so now I would like to formally call on our PCI College Academic Director, Jade Lawless, to offer our welcome address. Thank you, Jade.
Thank you, Colm. So, ladies and gentlemen, graduands and guests, faculty and staff, our distinguished guest speakers, welcome on this very special occasion as we celebrate your enormous achievement of our 2023 graduating cohorts. We're delighted to welcome you here today to this beautiful venue where we invite you to reflect on this momentous achievement as you graduate from PCI College. It's a prestigious sight to see you all here in your caps and gowns today. I hope you're really proud. I'm sure that many times over the last few years, as you're studying, you will have asked yourself some version of the question, are we there yet? So whether that be linked to the state of the world around us at the moment, your training, or both. There is a quote displayed in the Brooklyn Library by an artist which states, "Having abandoned the flimsy flight of certainty, I decided to wander." So this brings to mind the one thing that we know for certain in counselling and psychotherapy, and that is that nothing is certain. When we allow ourselves to let go of expectation, to abandon the flimsy flight of fantasy, in favour of exploration, and embrace ambiguity, we can experience a wider plane of possibilities. And as such, the question, are we there yet, can't really be answered as long as we are open to learning and creating new personal and collective experiences. So while you may have looked at today as a way to mark the end of something really special, I encourage you to look at this as the beginning of something new. On that theme, we must mention the role of CORU and the draft criteria and proficiencies for counselling and psychotherapy that are currently out for stakeholder consultation. The drafts from CORU do have the potential to also bring about something new for the field: state recognition and parity of esteem with our health and social care counterparts. This is what we've been advocating for many years. So use your voice to inform the CORU board, and as the future of this profession, influence the change in whatever way you can. There will never be a more important conversation to be had in regards to what the future of counselling and psychotherapy can become. It's really important that you get involved in that conversation because you have the power to shape that future. There's still a week to go before the consultation closes, so use your voice. So I bet you didn't think you were going to get an assignment today, but there you go. So your journey through the courses you graduate from today has equipped you with the necessary skills, knowledge and compassion to navigate the complexities of counselling and psychotherapy. As you move forward, it is our collective hope that CORU's pending recognition will soon be a formal acknowledgement of the high standards upheld by PCI College and you, its graduates. Over the last number of years, you have probably asked yourself, what does the future hold? Which is a timely question in the lead up to graduation, qualification and regulation. You are part of the future of counselling and psychotherapy. You will make your mark in a meaningful way. In a world that seems so fast-paced and often disconnected, the need for compassionate and skilled counsellors, therapists and mental health workers has never been more crucial. Your ability to listen with empathy, to offer support without judgment, and to create a safe space for healing is a gift that you now share with the world. The future of counselling and psychotherapy is inherently entwined with progress, not just in the field itself, but in the societal and state recognition of the importance of mental health. Your role extends beyond the confines of the therapy room. You are advocates for destigmatising mental health, fostering inclusivity, and promoting a holistic approach to well-being. As professionals in this field, you have the privilege of witnessing resilience, growth, and transformation. Throughout your training, whichever stage you're celebrating today, you are an example of resilience for your clients. You have held, you have processed, and you have worked with the most vulnerable parts of yourself for your clients. And you will continue to do so as you carry your qualification into the professional realm. Your work will touch the lives of individuals and ripple through communities, leaving a lasting impact. In the face of uncertainty, remember the profound impact that you can have on someone's life just by being present, listening with intent, and offering support without judgment. Your skills are not just tools, they're instruments of healing and catalysts for change. So now you know what you can do. However, as you know, awareness is not just about knowing. Awareness is the freedom to choose other possibilities. That world of possibility lives within your clients too. Even when they can't see it, dream it, or imagine it, you will know the possibilities that lie within, and you will be the mirror when they are ready to look in. So, graduands, as you embark on this journey, be inspired by the potential that lies ahead. The counselling and psychotherapy profession is not just a career, it's a calling. It demands the best and it offers immeasurable rewards. The future is yours to shape, and I have no doubt that each of you will contribute to a world where mental health is valued, understood, and nurtured. So as you reflect on where you have been, the path that you have endured to get here today, and as you ponder where you might go next, let go of certainty and remember that anything is possible. We would not have dreamed up the world that we live in today, and I'm pretty sure we all would have doubted our own resilience and ability to persist through the hard times that we still see around us. As you step into the next chapter of your journey, remember that learning is a lifelong pursuit. Embrace the challenges that come your way. Continue to seek knowledge and never underestimate the impact that you can have on the lives of those who you walk beside. As you do that, know that we, PCI College, hold the door open for a continued professional relationship. Many of you today are continuing with your studies in PCI to master's level, in CPD courses, and every manner of in between. Many of our graduates and alumni work with us today as lecturers and supervisors, and we very much look forward to a continued link with you all in the future. As we reflect here today on the wonderful achievements of you, it is right to also acknowledge the investment of your programme leaders, Margaret O'Connor, Katrina Dennehy, Dr. Paul Hayes, Denise O'Boyle, and Dr. Albert Osthoff, who have been dedicated and committed to your learning journey in ways that go beyond words, and also to your lecturing teams, your year heads, student development progression officers, our lovely clinical manager, programmes office, student services, and the counselling service, who all worked with you along the way. Your success makes us all proud. So, we proudly take this opportunity to celebrate all of you graduands today. We remind you to be proud of yourself and your contribution to the field of mental health in Ireland. The profession is safe in your hands. So with that being said, welcome. Sit back, relax, and take in this wonderful achievement. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jade, for those inspiring and encouraging words as we begin a new chapter and as you challenge us in the profession as counsellors and therapists to continually work at developing best practice, the highest standards required. I would now like to call on our PCI College Head of Counselling and Psychotherapy, Gail Kilduff, to offer the congratulatory address. Thank you, Gail.
I need glasses and bigger writing than Jade. So good afternoon. Thank you, Colm, and thank you, Jade, for that warm welcome to this special day where you, PCI College graduates, are about to receive your academic award in recognition of all you have achieved since commencing your programme of study with PCI College. It is an honour and a privilege to be given this opportunity to congratulate you on behalf of PCI College. I know that arriving at this point in your academic and professional journey has not come without hard work, commitment, and a determination to succeed. Despite the many challenges that you may have faced as a student, particularly when balancing academic and professional and personal obligations, you got here. You and your families should be incredibly proud of what you have achieved. Along with congratulating you, I want to thank you. In the first instance, I want to thank you for choosing PCI College. Throughout our 32-year history, we are proud to say that we have never faltered from our mission to make transformative contributions to both individuals and society as the leading education establishment in the field of mental health and well-being. Since PCI began, we have been fully committed to contributing significantly towards excellence in contemporary academic knowledge and ethical practice within the helping profession in Ireland. We take our responsibilities to the profession and to your clients seriously. This responsibility requires that we provide you with a robust, high-quality professional learning experience, something we can only achieve to the contribution of the team at PCI. Your success in arriving here today has not come without the hard work from staff and lecturers alike, and a commitment to maintaining a standard that is fair to all. Their unwavering dedication to maintaining a high standard of academic excellence and their uncompromising position when it comes to the determination of fitness to practice ensures that our graduates are highly competent, are well respected in the field, and are noted for their positive contributions to the ongoing development of the profession. Secondly, I want to thank you for your courage in choosing this profession. In a world that often yearns for connection and understanding, your role as counsellors and psychotherapists becomes increasingly significant. Now more than ever before are you needed. Healthy Ireland, a government-funded framework for improved mental health 2013 to 2025, has a vision where everyone can enjoy physical and mental health and well-being to their full potential, where well-being is valued and supported at every level of society and is everyone's responsibility. Our work as educators is aligned with Ireland's mental health policy, Sharing the Vision, which states that access to talk therapies should be one of the first-line treatment options for most people who experience mental health difficulties. Your contribution as part of that vision will be to touch lives, mend spirits, and bring solace to those in need. Without the work that you are now trained to do, individuals will continue to struggle alone, leading to increased stress, anxiety, and unaddressed issues. Without you, children and young people would be deprived of a safe haven to address struggles, learn coping skills, and navigate challenges. Without you, individuals battling with addiction may face increased difficulty breaking the cycle of addiction, leading to heightened health risks, strained relationships, and a diminished quality of life. Without you, those within our country today who are disenfranchised, suffering oppression, displaced and traumatised will continue to suffer from isolation, exclusion, and feelings of powerlessness. This work is not for those who lack courage. It requires you to be brave and resilient, to be willing to stand up for the rights of your clients and colleagues, to be a voice for growth and development within the profession, to engage with your accrediting bodies and to work together to ensure that our work is respected, valued, and acknowledged. You are the future of this profession, but don't imagine that you are a lone voice. Continue to value all of the associations you have become involved in since starting your training. Be willing to join forces with those who have many years of experience working within this area. Collaborate with us, training providers. Be wise in your affiliations and always strive to act in the best interests of your clients and the profession. I have no doubt that in your hands we can achieve a much higher level of recognition and value, and that our caring profession will go from strength to strength over the coming years. Whatever direction your work takes you, the future of this profession belongs to you. Until this profession is formally regulated, it is up to you and your accrediting body to protect the public by promoting high standards of professional conduct and competencies, and ensuring that those who may be vulnerable are treated with the utmost care and professionalism. As you embark on new journeys, may this achievement serve as a stepping stone to a future filled with continued growth, prosperity, and the realisation of your dreams. We hope you leave PCI having experienced a place where you felt accepted and valued, where openness, honesty, diversity, freedom of expression, and sharing of experiences were encouraged and cultivated. Whatever way the wind takes you from here, on behalf of PCI College, I wish you the very best of luck. I want to thank you for choosing PCI as your college. I want you to know that we at PCI are proud of you, proud to know you, and proud and honoured to have you as graduates. Congratulations to you all, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Gail, for those encouraging words. We're always aware that the work of counselling and psychotherapy is always challenging. It's not for the faint-hearted, but it is possible as you open your clinics to your own group of clients for the future. Our alumnus speaker for our graduation ceremony today is Ejiro Ogbavoan, and Ejiro is a Dublin-based counselling psychotherapist and a clinical supervisor in private practice. Her degrees in industrial relations and personnel management, counselling and psychotherapy, and her diploma in clinical supervision have contributed to her journey in private practice and lecturing both in Dublin City University and at PCI College. Ejiro founded Black Therapists Ireland, which provides a visible platform for black therapists, while actively promoting mental health and well-being amongst black people living in Ireland and globally. Black Therapists Ireland has partnered with numerous organisations to offer therapeutic support to stakeholders through consultations, employee assistance programmes, and workshops, training, and of course counselling. Many years ago, while training in PCI College, Ejiro remembered thinking how much she would love to teach psychotherapy herself. For Ejiro, we believe it is a dream come true to be a lecturer at PCI College, and she is indeed honoured to be speaking at the graduation ceremony today. Please welcome our alumnus speaker, Ejiro Ogbavoan.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. It is an honor to be standing here. A little nervous, but give me a minute. I will calm down. I want to talk about how I found myself in this profession. As a young person, I called myself a seeker. I was always looking for the answers, like life. I always had, my ideas were kind of different from everyone else. People were thinking this way and I was thinking the other way, and it was difficult for me to see why I was wrong, even though I didn't see how they were wrong. So I just thought, okay, there must be some answers somewhere. When I came to, I'm originally from Nigeria. When I moved to Ireland, with my young kids and married with 2 young children, I struggled. And I didn't know where to go or what to do. And I spoke to a doctor and he said, go for counseling. And I thought, now I'll go study it instead of going for counseling. So I took a cert in Maynooth to find out, what is this counseling about? And I thought, oh my God, this is the missing piece I've been looking for. And after the year, I joined PCI. And oh my God, I loved all the lecturers. Oh, they were so wise. They knew they had all the answers. Gave me these great books to read. And I was so happy to be in psychotherapy. I mean, I hated the assignments. And hated some of the triads and skills that we had to do in the class. But it was all part of the experience. And I honestly left thinking, I really would love to give this back to students in the future. And then I had this precious gift that I wanted to share with my community. And so after I graduated, I ran into the community and I was like, guys, look what I found. And everyone was like, What are you talking about? In my community, both here and back home, we're very religious, and I know the Irish people understand that because the nuns and the priests that came to Nigeria were from Ireland. And my mom, when she came to visit Ireland, she was like, oh my God, these are the Irish nuns that taught me when I was a child. So she was so happy to come to Ireland. So we have a lot of connection when it comes to religion and between Ireland and Nigeria. So I went into the community, the religious community, Christian churches, and I wasn't welcomed. It was out of not understanding where I was coming from or what I was trying to do. And people felt defensive, and they felt that they had to protect their people from me. So I left that dream of going into my community. And as a trained therapist, I just decided to work as a practitioner, try to build my practice, just do the work. I never really saw myself as a Black therapist. I just saw myself as a therapist working in the community. And in 2020, after the death of George Floyd, people started looking for therapists that looked like them because they wanted to talk about racial stuff. They wanted to talk about the impact that they were experiencing, and they couldn't find a therapist that, not that we weren't there, they just didn't know where to find us. And a girl came onto me in 2020, started this whole idea around October. And somebody came onto the screen and she burst into tears, a young South African girl. And she said, I have been looking for you. And I thought, that can't be right. If somebody is already distressed with whatever it is that's going on for them, surely finding the therapist that they want to talk to should be an easy thing. That was how I birthed the idea around Black Therapist Ireland. I just thought if somebody was looking for me, they'll go to Google and type Black Therapist in Ireland. So I said, that's what I'm going to call my organization, Black Therapist Ireland. I wasn't a genius at all. It's pretty straightforward. However, there were a few people that felt it was a political statement. It was a few things came out of that, but I always made it clear that I was describing myself so that it's easy for somebody to find me. And at this point, I didn't know any other Black therapist. So I started going to people, do you know a Black therapist? They're like, no, it's just you. Do you know the member? No, it's just you. I was like, no, surely that can't be right. But slowly, people started coming out of the woodworks. I like to say woodworks, but as of today, there are 33 therapists, and we didn't even know each of us existed. In every training, we were the only people in our colleges or in our school at the time of our training, so it really did feel quite isolating in a sense. So what do we do in Black Therapist Ireland? For me, my vision is, first of all, for that primary purpose, make it easy for people to find us. And we don't just serve the Black community, we serve everyone. But if this is what you're looking for, we want it to be easy for you to find us. And then we want to support the therapists, both experienced therapists as well as students, so that they don't feel as isolated as we felt when we were doing our training. So we have a group of therapists that are students, and we're supporting them. But most importantly, we want to drive mental health in our community, in the migrant community as a whole, to encourage people to use these services that I know it's brilliant. It's amazing to be a therapist, for yourself and for the people around you. But a lot of people don't appreciate it yet. But it is growing, and I want that when people look up and look at the space of mental health, they see people that look like them. That's the reason why we started Black Therapist Ireland. And I want to be able to support people like yourselves who maybe would not have worked with somebody that looked different, but to offer that support around the questions that you may come across or the challenges that you may come across. We want to be able to offer that support as well. So there's so much going on in that space. Feel free to ask me questions, and I will be willing to offer that support. Congratulations on your achievements. Thank you.
Ejiro, thank you very much for those enlightening words as we celebrate with our graduates today. And you challenge us to not lose sight of the value of the therapeutic work of the clinic and to ensure best practice when working with clients from many cultures throughout the world. Our guest speaker for our graduation today is Kerry Anthony, MBE. Kerry is the Chief Executive of Inspire, an all-Ireland charity and social enterprise working with people living with mental ill health, addictions and intellectual disability. She joined the organisation in August 2019 following 14 years with the DePaul, an all-Ireland and international charity supporting people experiencing homelessness. She's a qualified social worker and holds a master's in voluntary sector management. She is an expert in organisational governance, structure and strategy. Kerry has led on transformation projects in a number of large, complex organisations, both nationally and internationally. As a values-led leader, Kerry believes that positive relationships and communication make organisations thrive. With a strong commitment to social justice and service user-led delivery, Kerry has been a high-profile voice for organisations working on some of the most pressing and complex social issues facing society today. She is a regular commentator to the media and acts as an advisor to policymakers at both local and national levels. Kerry is a trustee of Tua Housing Association, chairing the Governance and People Committee, and was previously a member of the Board of Governors of All Hallows College in Dublin and a trustee of CO3 in Northern Ireland, holding the position of chair from 2015 to 2017. Kerry has been the recipient of a number of awards, receiving an MBE in 2010 in recognition for her services to housing and homelessness. Please welcome Kerry Anthony.
I do tend to squirm slightly when people are introducing you because I'm just Kerry at the end of the day. Here I am. Delighted to be with you this afternoon. Thank you to PCI colleagues for inviting me along to be the guest speaker. I often wonder why I'm the person who's asked to do this. And I suspect on this occasion it's William Fitzpatrick's fault because he shares a love of both PCI College and of Inspire. So as said, I'm Kerry, I'm the Group Chief Executive of Inspire, and we're an all-Ireland organisation. We work in a charitable way and also in a social enterprise way, and they are distinct. Already, as it's been said, through our charity, we work with people with mental health and addiction issues, and we work with people with intellectual disability and autism. Through a range of services, community-based services, residential services, supporting living services. But the other side of our work, and probably more relevant to today, and I must give a little plug to Inspire today, is our social enterprise where we provide therapeutic and wellbeing interventions in workplaces, schools and colleges right across the island of Ireland. And we do this through our relationships with people like you, people who act as our associates and on our behalf. And through our social enterprise last year alone, we've offered over 66,000 sessions of counselling, so it does have a tremendous impact, and I would like to encourage you to look at our website and learn a little bit more about us. We were established 65 years ago by a woman called Lady Wakehurst, and she was, by the title as it suggests, she was a woman of means and privilege, and she had a son who had experienced severe mental ill health. And at the time, while she was visiting hospitals, Lady Wakehurst had seen that there was an exclusively medicalised model of care and treatment, and no focus really on recovery and integration. So as a result, she used her position to lobby and persuade that a different approach was also needed, one based on social care. And she opened 65 years ago our first ever Inspire service, which was a day service for people who could come to it from hospital. So as I said, you can learn more about about all of our work on our website. But drawing on the work of Lady Wakehurst, Inspire has 6 values that will guide our work, and these are kindness, passion, honesty, innovation, determination, and inclusiveness. And values are important for us as individuals and as organisations. And I wanted to say to you today, it's important as you leave here that you are confident in knowing what your values are and what your purpose is, and how this will impact on how you practice. I've been asked to provide a few reflections today as you reach this milestone of your graduation, and I've been working in the health and social care field for 28 years, and when I reflect on those years, I have had many, many memorable moments, both positive and, of course, challenging. However, the memories that stand out in my head most are the professional relationships I established as a frontline worker with many of the people I walked alongside for a period of time, particularly on a one-to-one basis. Coming to talk to you today gave me a lot of joy because I had to really think back, because I haven't been a frontline worker for a long time, but I got to think back about those people that I met. Most of my frontline work, if you've heard, was in homelessness, with a focus of those most in need. People living with challenges around addiction and long and enduring mental ill health. Here in Dublin, I was the Chief Executive of DePaul Ireland for 12.5 years and advocated strongly for low threshold and harm reduction services to ensure that those who needed services most were able to get access to them. I can honestly say, working in low threshold and harm reduction services, I learned so much from the people using those services, and it was my privilege to work with and for them. In the early days, I was young and inexperienced. I'd come from a relatively privileged background, certainly one of love and safety. Many of the people I had worked with just had not had that experience, and when I listened to them and I watched them, I learned so much about resilience. I often wondered, walking in their shoes, would I have had the same level of resilience, and I don't know the answer to that. After working in homeless services in London for a few years, I was delighted to be accepted onto a social work course in Glasgow, and I was thrilled and delighted to learn new skills about practice and theory and knowledge, and I hoped that that would make me a better worker. I had noticed in my time working in homelessness that ours was a sector that often attracted people who may be driven by their own experiences, and occasionally boundaries could get blurred. I knew in my heart that I wanted to be a healthy social worker, professionally boundaried and supporting people in the correct way. So I thought I'd better check this out, and that was my first interaction with counselling. I was 23, I think, at the time. I wanted to explore if there was anything lurking that might prevent me from being the well-balanced, rounded social worker and providing the right support at the right time for the right reason. I remember turning up at a house in Brixton in London and going into a room at the back and speaking to a wonderful counsellor who had come recommended, and we talked for some time about values, relationships, attitudes, and she concluded that apart from maybe being a little too hard on myself, I should go forth and achieve my dreams. That counsellor had a profound impact on providing me with the reassurance and enabling me to see perhaps I had to adjust my attitude maybe a little towards myself, but not necessarily towards others. That was just one session, and so I would encourage you to make every single session count. And so I set off to Glasgow at the age of 24 to start my Masters in Social Work. That solid grounding in social work practice has stood the test of time and still informs much of my decision making today in my current role. One of the things that stands out in my mind from my first year practice teacher, a lady called Senga, which, true fact, spells Agnes backwards. And she said to me, "Kerry, if you can go into practice imagining that you have tattooed across your forehead, "Do no further harm, it should keep you on track." She also knew I was a very gut-driven practitioner, so she made me do a lot of reflective practice journaling too, and that was torture for me. But that phrase has stuck with me, and I often talk to our staff about that. Personal one-to-one relationships are precious, and we have to recognise the role we play and the power we have to do harm or to do no further harm. I've been working as a chief executive now for almost 17 years, and I turned 50 this year, and I suspect I have a good few more years in a role like this. However, I have a plan one day. Someday I too will be sitting, I hope, qualifying as a counsellor, and I will again work on a one-to-one level with individuals seeking support at a point in time to enable them to find the balance to be able to live and thrive. What a privileged position you're entering into today as you leave here armed with the tools to provide this service, and I wish you very, very well in that. And if you will indulge me for one more time, I'll remind you about Inspire. So I leave you today with my 3 takeaways, and I hope they resonate with some of you in the room. Know yourself, your values, and your purpose. They will guide all that you do. Do no further harm, tread carefully with people, and recognise the privilege it is to provide a safe space for others and steady support that you can be at a troubled point in time for someone. I wish every single one of you such success. I congratulate you on your achievements today, and I hope you have time to celebrate with friends and families. Thank you so much, and well done.
Thank you, Kerry, for those inspiring words as we all learn to sharpen our values and be mindful of the landscape of therapy ahead of us, and also being mindful of the many frontline workers and groups that we are challenged to work with. And so we come to the presentation of awards. It's really important to keep breathing at this point. So the day and time has finally come for the presentation of your awards. We have, of course, quite a large cohort of students here today, so thank you for your patience during this important ceremony for our graduates. Please remain seated until ushered. If you could have your name card ready, that would be helpful, and present it to me, and I will call out your name here in this public arena, and Jade Lawless, the PCI College Academic Director, will present you here with your award, and a photo will be taken. So we now address our graduands the Higher Education Certificate in Counselling Studies and Interpersonal Skills, and we have a recipient for that award. Christopher. He's not here. Okay, fine. Okay, the graduands receiving the BSc on Counselling and Psychotherapy, we have quite a number of recipients today, so if people wish to proceed. Those receiving the BSc in ONS. Thank you. Thank you very much. Trasa Breed Kilgallen. Okay. Yeah. That's great. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thomas O'Hanlon. Laura Mackin Potsafitz. Aidan Carroll. Congratulations. Aidan Murray. Anne Lynch. Amanda Walsh. Alison Elibert. Aisling Folan. Anne Patricia Daly. Brian Cooper. Brian Moriarty. Bridget Teresa Breen. Kathleen Khalil. Catherine Flaherty. Caroline Cummins. Carol Donaghy. Caroline Healy. Conor O'Leary. Cora Fitzpatrick. Edward Finn. Emma Burns. Cormac Callahan. George Henderson. Frida Carney Grieve. Owen Murphy. Gregory Moran. Ilona Kacineritz. James Lynch. Isabel O'Brien. Jenny Barden. Jason Smith. Jason O'Rourke. Joan Byrne. John Kelly. Jody McCaffrey. Jude Patrick Quigley. Lawrence Carpenter. Kate Waters. Karen Todd. Leanne Glennon. Leslie Barker. Leslie MacDonald. Loretta Corrigan. Lorraine Prendergast. Mark Horn. Marie Danielle Gray. Margaret Walsh. Margaret Lynch. Marcus Kauser. Martina Brett. Martina Williams. Naomi Byrne. Patrick O'Flaherty. Roddy Healy. Perry Shaw. Paul Lennon. Sean Byrne. Ruth Mary Duffy. Sean O'Moran. Siobhan Nielsen. Stephen Reynolds. Thomas Heffernan. Tara Haslam. And so we move now to the postgraduate certificate in cognitive behavioural therapy and counselling skills for Elizabeth Kenyon. Elizabeth is with her here, and she will receive her award. Elizabeth will receive her award. Okay. And then for the postgraduate certificate in child and adolescent counselling, Martin Barr. Okay. And the postgraduate diploma in child and adolescent, Susan Kelly. And of course then to the Masters in Child and Adolescent Counselling and Psychotherapeutic Skills, Caroline Walker. Okay. Well done, Caroline. Caroline there? You there? Okay. And also Caroline? Yes, thank you. Thank you, Caroline. Yes, yes. Thanks, Caroline. Congratulations. Well done. Caroline Walker. Yes. And Deirdre Short. Well done, Deirdre. Well done, Deirdre. Congratulations. Well done. And Linda Ward. Congratulations. Well done. And Lorraine Rossiter. And Penny Houghton. Yes, thank you, Penny. Congratulations, Penny. And Mae Fitzpatrick will receive her award afterwards. Mae isn't here today. Okay. And finally, our last recipient of the day is the MSc Addiction Counselling and Psychotherapy to Conor James Deering. Our congratulations to him. Our congratulations to him. So our congratulations to each and every one of you on receiving your awards today. It is a wonderful achievement. Congratulations. And so at each graduation ceremony, we invite a student, of course, to speak on behalf of you, the graduates. And today I'm delighted and very happy to call on Penny Houghton to address you at your graduation. Please welcome Penny. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Penny.
Hello there. I cannot believe I'm standing in front of you today, and quite frankly, neither would you if you'd met me 7 or maybe even 5 years ago. And even if Margaret had somehow wangled getting me up here, there would have been no way I'd be talking about myself. This is terrifying for me, but saying yes to speaking today has been the result of a lot of yeses I've started saying to myself and to others. And of course, yeses others have said to me since I began on this road to becoming a psychotherapist. For me, and maybe for you too, this scroll is the culmination of years of perseverance, tears, and nail-biting moments opening those e-submissions emails. And that's just my family. Seriously though, it took the hardest work of my life to get here, and maybe you too. So I promise to keep this brief so we can get to the serious business of celebrating. I've been asked to share my own experience and insights as a student, and maybe even convey a message of inspiration and encouragement as we move forward as qualified therapists. So, in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to describe my yeses, all the people who've said yes to me, and probably you too, in your own circumstances. So here goes. My own path into this work began one gloomy Thursday morning in February 8 years ago, when I received an unexpected call from my father in South Africa. I immediately knew something was up, as I did not remember him ever calling me previously. Not because he didn't care or we didn't get on, but because my mum and I had always been very close and done enough talking for everybody. So his call was all the more shocking. My beloved mother had been diagnosed with brain cancer. 2 days later, my husband Joe and I packed our little family, Danny and April, who were 2 and 3 years old at the time, and we were on a plane to be with my parents. This began what I was later to understand as a very existential experience, a wrestling with meaning, belonging, love, and, after a year and a half, the death of my precious mother. But it also marked the death of my fear of living fully and the birth of saying yes to life and learning. Realizing the clock was ticking on my own life, I signed up for a degree in child psychology, which I'd always longed to do, but never had the confidence for. It was a challenge, especially with 2 young children and a job, but it was also life-changing. And when I discovered that there was such a thing as a degree in psychotherapy, and that PCI offered this training in a way I could fit into my life, I changed track immediately. Within 2 weeks of hearing this amazing news, I was signed up for the certificate program, nervously sitting in PCI's old Dublin City premises opposite Pierce Street Garda Station, feeling like a deer in the headlights. That day, Louise Brennan, sitting over here, as perhaps some of you, delivered, as perhaps for some of you, my introduction to the world of counselling and psychotherapy, and to the amazing calibre of PCI's lecturers. She was warm, inspiring, and had a terrific sense of humour. Her module opened my eyes to an entirely different way of seeing the world. I was hooked. This was a huge yes for me. But still, the skeptic in me taunted, "Sure, of course they're going to bring out the big guns for the first bit. It's unlikely the other lectures will be this good." Well, I can honestly say that while every lecturer has their own style and way of being, I have been bowled over by the depth of insight, generosity, and professionalism of the lecturing faculty. Thank you. Thank you all. And their work would be impossible without the tireless support of all the great people in Corrick House who make all this happen behind the scenes. A bout of adult chicken pox, 2 broken wrists at the same time, and major surgery bang in the middle of my dissertation, which is some of the few life events Breda and her team accommodated me through. Thank you. To the compassionate and supportive personal therapists, supervisors, and colleagues who have travelled this path ahead of us and nurture us on our paths, you've laid the foundations that make our road so much smoother and come from a place of radical empathy and incredible experience. Thank you. But this experience would be nothing without my magnificent classmates. If you think my trials sound challenging, they hadn't a patch on the huge loss, the heartbreak, and struggles of my fellow students. Not all of us who started are here today, but as we know, this is a journey. And while some have made the brave decision to pause their journeys, we know they celebrate with us, literally thanks to Zoom today, as we will with them when they get their turn. We were 6 nationalities, many travelling from around the island of Ireland, showing their huge commitment and resolve. These women and men opened their souls and touched mine on so many occasions. You are truly my heroes, and such a credit to our profession. Thank you for saying yes to me as your classmate in so many ways. And of course, my clients, for their trust in me and courage to face the terrifying prospect of change, for allowing me the privilege to accompany them through their most challenging times. As existentialist Emmy van Derzen wrote, therapy is a journey that client and therapist embark upon together. Both will be transformed as they let themselves be touched by life. I am who I am today because of those amazing journeys. Thank you. And lastly, I so appreciate this chance to publicly acknowledge the huge sacrifices and support of my husband Joe and children Danny and April. Thank you. They, for so many reasons, are why I'm standing up here today, as I'm guessing is the case for many of us. Our loved ones travel this road with us, not just in their minds, but in their nervous systems too. They experience our pain, our stress, and our joy just as viscerally as we do. This realization was huge for me, so much so that it became the basis of my BSc thesis and then my master's dissertation. And this is not only true in our interactions with loved ones, but also the case with clients, classmates, PCI staff, lecturers, colleagues, everyone in Corrig House, and even strangers whose lives we touch. As Daniel Siegel describes, yes is more than a word. It's a state of being, of relating, and a gateway to curiosity, growth, and resilience. Even our nervous systems respond differently to the word yes. And because we've said yes to this work, we're quite literally changing the nervous systems of people all around us. And in turn, they'll change the lives of those they touch. Not to overstate it, but this work is life-changing on a global scale. I'll leave you with one caveat, however, one I've battled with for years and still do. It is so important to listen carefully to your own nervous systems when we hear ourselves saying those yeses, because I've learned that sometimes yeses sound like no's. No, I will not feed your man-eating cat for the next 3 weeks. No, I'll not be able to work over lunchtime so you can go to the gym. No, I can't cancel my family trip to help out with your children's birthday party. True story. Because when we say no's, we're saying yes to ourselves. And so, in finishing, in under 10 minutes I hope, I'd like to share with you my favorite quote from poet Mary Oliver, who asks, "What is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?" In my experience, the best thing we can possibly do is say yes, even though it sometimes sounds like a no. None of us would be sitting here today if we hadn't said yes and kept saying yes. So just keep doing what you're doing, and we'll all be lifted up on the tide of yeses. So let's start our celebrations as graduates by standing up now, and after 3, I want everyone to shout yes, okay? Okay, 1, 2, 3, yes!
Thank you, Penny, for the yes, and for the yes of today, for the yes of your words, and for the courage to say yes to this profession, yes to change in our own lives, yes to change for other people as well. Thank you very much. Today at our graduation ceremony, PCI College presents the Martin Kitterick Award to one of our students for each year, and I would like to call on Shane Morrow, our faculty lecturer and Year 3 and Year 4 head, to tell you about this award and to present these awards, please. Thank you, Shane.
First of all, I would like to jump the queue and say congratulations to our graduates as opposed to graduates. So very well done. All the hard work, long hours and stress have finally paid off for you, and you have now received your awards. Very well done. Each year we present the Martin Kitterick Award to encourage high levels of academic standards, to encourage people to strive to be the best that they can be. The award is named after Martin Kitterick, who is one of the most influential figures in the development of our college and our ethos over the years, who is sadly no longer with us. It was close this year. A lot of very high standard theses were handed in, and it took us a while to finally come up with a winner. Now, normally what I do is I award second place first and then first, but our winner this year cannot be here due to work commitments. So I will start with that, and I will then award the runner-up. So the winner of the Martin Kitterick Award this year is Rebecca Burke, with her thesis, Counsellors with Attention Deficit Disorder and the Impact of Difference. The paper explored how ADHD can impact a counsellor with the condition in relation to work within the profession. But she also examined some of the strengths and some of the benefits that the condition can bring to somebody working in the profession. So, well done, Rebecca. And can we please have a round of applause, even though she's not. And this year's runners-up is Joan Kelly. Joan, on her piece on metaphoric imagery, have a place in the therapist toolbox, and she argues very strongly that it can. The thesis explores metaphoric imagery that can be a powerful tool utilised by the therapist in the therapeutic process, being versatile and variable, and can be used within various theoretical modernities and situations. So very well done, and please come and join. There you are. And finally, I just want to welcome you to the profession in earnest as new colleagues. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shane, and our sincere congratulations to Rebecca Burke and to Joan Kelly on your achievements and hard work today. Well done. We are aware, and following on what Penny has suggested to us, that our celebration today is only possible with the help and support of our families and those people around us. So now I would like to invite the graduates to, first of all, move the tassels on their mortarboard from the right to the left, your right to your left, signifying the left and the leaving of your studies for now. And so, in line with tradition, I would also invite our graduates to stand, to turn around and offer a generous applause to your families and friends that have supported you to this graduation today. And so we have come to the end of our graduation today, and on behalf of PCI College, I would like again to congratulate our graduates on their wonderful hard work and their achievements here today. On behalf of PCI College, I would like to invite you all to a drinks reception in the hall of the church just here to your right, where we will get a chance, of course, to meet in person. Also to let you know that there are photographers available today if you wish to avail of them, as we say, inside in this room, also on the stage. Our thanks, of course, to the management and staff of PCI College who have helped prepare for today and make this event possible, including, of course, our own Breda McGreevy, our Student Services Manager, and her team at the college. Our thanks, of course, to Ronan, our organist, along with the staff here in St. Anne's, including Jules and Janet, and of course Colm, who's on VT for us today. Thanks also to our alumni speaker, Ijiro Ogbavon, our guest speaker, Kerry Anthony, and our graduate speaker, Penny Houghton. Well done. And so finally, on behalf of PCI College, I would like to offer our congratulations to you, our graduates, to your families and to your friends, and invite you to please enjoy the rest of your day. Please stand now for the faculty recessional procession, which is led by the PCI College Academic Director, Jade Lawless, and faculty. And thank you again, Ronan, for the music.